Well, howdy, friends and floorheads, and welcome back to 1930s California. It's the early morning hours of Saturday, September 14th, 1935, and we rejoin our heroes as they drive away from the Pasadena headquarters of the Cult of the Thing with a Thousand Mouths. Behind them, they've left fire and wreckage and a monstrous mouth which is badly wounded, but which may or may not actually be dead. James is in the back seat, badly hurt and barely conscious, as a frazzled Alice tends to his injuries. Sal, who is himself bleeding from several wounds, is hunched over the steering wheel as Doc Adrian scans a street map. There is, for the moment, no pursuit, but is there work still left undone here? Meanwhile, before we see anything, we hear the low putt-putt of an engine. As the light fades up, we see a long-tailed boat crossing a choppy harbor. A small Asian man deftly steers the vessel to a decrepit dock where four other men of various ethnicities disembark. After a short walk up a stained stone stairway, they come within sight of the burned-out shell of an old colonial mansion. "Burned, as I said," one of them says matter-of-factly. "Yes, the house is burned, but she might well have made it out," says another. "If she was alive, she would have responded to our telegrams," replies the first. "I told you, she's dead." "Perhaps," says a third man. "Regardless, we must see what can be learned. Who did this, and what do they know?" And the fourth man simply nods as they resume their climb towards the burned-out mansion. Let's hit the credits. All right. Well, after a few semi-cursed weeks of not being able to get the band back together, we are resuming here. And as I said, we're in the wee hours of the morning in a car full of injured people. I think looking at maps and trying to find some place that's reliable, but maybe not too close to LA, I think you've probably picked out there's a hospital in San Bernardino, which is maybe 45 minutes east of LA. So we're probably headed in that direction. Is there much conversation going on in the car at this point, or are we just focused on getting there?
Yeah, Sal's just driving.
Okay.
No conversation. His whole focus is on keeping us between the two white lines.
Right, exactly.
I think Alice is stabilizing James, and I think every now and then she'll also do some backseat first aid on Sal as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Doc got James stabilized at least, but he still needs some looking after.
Yeah, no, he's not in any immediate danger of bleeding out or that kind of thing, but he's got a lot of the bad injuries are probably his leg is pretty badly screwed up, and he's got a number of smaller bleeding injuries on his torso, but nothing that's immediately life-threatening at this point. Certainly would have been if it hadn't gotten attention sooner. So it's a pretty quiet and focused run, and it's probably a little bit before dawn when you pull up to the entry area of St. Bernardine's Hospital, which is a fairly new, large Catholic hospital that's just been put together out here in San Bernardino. Do you go into the emergency room entrance or just kind of the main entrance?
I think I'll say, emergency room.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we need to come up with a quick backstory to tell people. Can't remember what the extent of James's wounds are, but bullet wounds makes people ask questions.
It's true.
James has no line in this play because he's barely conscious.
Mhm.
I don't think he has much ability to say lines at the moment.
No.
I imagine if James says anything in his state, it's probably something like, I'm fine. I'm fine.
James, moan if you agree. Do you have any?
Would it be unreasonable to say that we went to a part of town we really weren't meant to be in and got jumped? Like really weren't meant to be at. Like really weren't meant to be at.
Does James have any bullet wounds?
I don't believe so. I don't think I got shot, did I?
No, I think you were mostly being squeezed by a giant tongue and hit with explosive shrapnel and
I
explosive
think
force.
Alice is going to, she's hustling everybody in to the emergency room, making contact with the, staff there and saying like, we found this guy, we found these two guys. I think he was attacked by some kind of bear and wild animal attack. And I think his buddy, it's probably hunters, hunters who got
Before we go
up.
in,
Sorry?
is the bullet wound through Sal, is it through and through, or is the round logs in there?
Tell you what, roll me a d6. The higher you roll, the cleaner the wound is.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think it's I get the impression what you're looking for is more of a through and through. What
Yes.
you're hoping for,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's say it went pretty cleanly through.
In that case, just I'm okay for the time being. We'll patch it. We'll hit the next hospital. But yeah, I don't need it at this point. I'm not in danger of dying. There's no bullets to dig out or anything like that. So pack it full of gauze, wrap it in a bandage, and we'll hit the next hospital.
Yeah, to be clear, while you don't have any, you're not actively bleeding or anything like that, it is pretty obvious that you have been shot just from looking at your clothes.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right. So, as you pull into the area, a couple, nurses and orderlies come out. They immediately sort of put James in a wheelchair and bring him inside. And they offer one to Sal.
Sal won't. I mean, he's fine. He's not. My intent for Sal was to take some of the clothes out of his suitcase, change clothes, and just kind of wait around. Yeah, I don't want to. Two
right.
people showing up at the same time, same car, unexplained wounds, that sort of thing. I think it's just. I'll hit the next hospital. That way, we're separating kind of the ability to for collusion stories to get all mixed up and things like that.
Got it. All right. So a block or two before the hospital, you pull over and do a quick change, so you're not as obvious. All right. Fair enough. All right. So they they begin taking James inside. I'm sorry, ma'am. You said it was some kind of
we
bear attack?
We were out in the I don't know. It was a late night stroll. It was just huge. It came at us, and James, he just threw himself in front. I don't know. He got mauled or crushed or something. We barely got him here. It's just it was just I don't know. He's a chupacabra or a yeti or what are the Bigfoot maybe. It's just it was awful.
Cryptid adjacent.
Hey, wait a minute.
Sure.
Right bandages there, so she's on the one hand like, oh, help, and then she is at the same time giving instructions.
and they're like, we've got this, man. Thank you. And they sort of try to shunt you off to a desk to fill out some paperwork while they sort of wheel James into the back and start tending to his injuries. And let's see, Alice and Mac are not physically injured, are they? All right, so you're both fine.
No, Matt's good, honestly.
All right, so basically, they're gonna want to admit him, because certainly once they get a look at that leg injury, his knee is dislocated. He's probably got what we would refer to as an ACL tear and some other stuff. So, he's gonna need to be here for a few days at least. I
think I take aside Doc and say, just quietly, Sal's being strong, covering stuff up, but he really needs to be seen. One of us stay here with James, and one of us has got to take Sal to get treated somewhere.
You go with Sal.
Yeah. Okay.
I can forge these papers if needed.
Okay, so if anything happens, we meet up at this. We had two places where we had one place where we could stay, and we had the safe house or something that's from Sal's contacts.
Yep, Sal had a connection that gave you guys.
If anything happens, let's meet up at the place that Sal arranged. I'll try and come back here once I've gotten Sal patched up.
Just worry about that now.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So there's another smaller, older hospital, maybe a half mile or so away, that you can certainly get Sal to. Now, what is the story we're presenting here? Because he, unlike James, that's pretty clearly
I think
that
hunting. Yeah, I think your original instincts on hunting accident were pretty good.
Well, hunting accident, and I accidentally shot you. And I imagine that, I've moved Sal into the passenger seat by now.
Mm-hmm.
So
that may ask questions. They may call the police, and then you'll be subjected to questioning. Maybe not. I know these days they would, but
okay. So you accidentally shot yourself in the arm?
No, fellow. Me and some buddies out of Chicago come down hunting the big game.
Yep, and they've all
you
just
think
buggered
Frankie
off.
could shoot? Oh, hell no.
Yep. Okay. Good. Yep.
All right.
That works. And anybody known Frankie that you don't like, we'll give them their details.
Frankie from the east side.
Right, exactly.
Never trust an east sider with a gun.
So you are likewise able to get admitted. They would we'll sort of montage through the sort of initial treatments and everything. Basically they would like to keep Sal for a few days, mostly to make sure there's no infection or anything going on. James is probably going to take the better part of a week in recovery. So I guess the first question is, assuming you follow those recommendations, what are Mac and Alice doing in the interim?
Before James returns to consciousness, probably going to relay the information to Alice, be that either by trying to call the hospital and get through to Alice, or meeting up with Alice after both of them have been put into the hospitals.
Yeah, I can imagine that Alice is the one with the car. After she's dropped Sal off and said, "No, you're staying here for at least one day. I'll come pick you up. You're staying here. You're staying here, and I'll talk to Frankie." And then I head back to the other hospital because I think to get Doc.
Yep, exactly.
So, and check on it. Have you heard anything about James?
Going to take about a week. They said they want to keep him here for that.
Has he woken up yet?
Probably not.
Oh, well. And look down, and we're probably both of us covered in blood and stuff. I'd say, let's go get cleaned up. We'll leave leave a note with James if he wakes up.
I'm staying here until he wakes up.
Okay, yeah, no, that's probably if he wakes up. And okay, I'll go back to our place. I'm going to get all our stuff, move it. Well, I'll be really careful, see if they haven't found it, move it to the other place, and then I'll come back here.
All right.
Okay. You all right?
I was the one who got his leg crushed.
Oh, I don't know. You were in that. What were they doing? What on earth happened?
Not right now. Not right now. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh well. And I thought I fucked up. Okay, I don't know. It was messed up. It was messed up. I'll go get our stuff, move it, and I should be back here in a couple of hours.
We'll talk when all our boys are back up.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, Alice, you're able to get back to your hotel. You know, it's probably just about breakfast time when you get there. I imagine you were probably able to collect everybody's keys, you know, for your different rooms and get everything loaded up. You probably draft a couple bellboys and get everything loaded up into the car.
Yeah, and I check out and I make a note of, we're heading to San Francisco. Yeah, no, I had to get everything, and then pointing in the other direction, and then I'll even drive that way off and then double back to the safe house.
Okay. You can, let's see, what is your sense trouble like, Alice? I seem to recall it's
like a 5 of 5.
Yeah. I think you're pretty confident that you're not being followed or observed at this point. Back at the hospital, it's probably a couple hours before James is out of surgery. You know, they say, he's resting now. It'll probably be another hour or two before he wakes up if you'd like to, get refreshed or anything. You're certainly welcome to wait here. They say the leg, they were able to reduce the dislocation without any significant problem. The surgery seems to have gone well. He won't be walking well. He won't be walking for a couple days and won't be well for a little bit after that. But, all in all, things have gone better. Now, there were a few other injuries that we weren't sure about, and we were hoping maybe you could help us identify what happened. It looked like there were a lot of places where there were fragments of stone or stuff almost kind of driven into him, as though there had been some kind of, explosion or rock fall. Do you know how that might have happened?
Yeah, his method of getting us out, besides throwing himself in the middle of it, was maybe a bit inventive. Tried to get some rocks to basically tried to get some rocks in the way of us, and they whatever that was attacking us. I think he fell into it more than the monster did.
Okay. Would you care to spend me a point of maybe reassurance or something along those lines?
Yes.
Try and get them to buy this story, which is maybe a little questionable.
Sorry. I wasn't sure what to say. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Oh no, it was good.
No apologies needed. It's exactly appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just if you put a point of reassurance in it, they'll, you know, I think you're able to put on enough of a, it was dark. Everything happened so fast. I didn't really see what happened, but there certainly weren't any explosions or anything. And they'll, they write it down and seem to take it as face value. Probably with the powers of storytelling and coincidence being the way they are, I imagine Alice is arriving back in San Bernardino right around the time that James kind of regains consciousness. So Alice, I don't know if you were heading back to James's hospital first or going to check on Sal.
I think I would have headed back to James's first just to see, if he'd woken up yet.
Okay. So yeah, let's say you get there around the time that the doctor comes to tell Adrian that your friend has regained consciousness.
Oh, thank God. That's can we go see him?
Yeah, he's still probably going to be a little groggy from the anesthesia, and try not to stress him out. But yeah, you can talk to him.
Okay, good. I brought some change of clothes. I mean, of course, he's not going to be wearing them just yet, but yeah. Okay.
That's fine.
Doc, you coming?
Oh boy.
Okay.
So, you get there and James looks like, your typical hospital patient. He's he's got one leg raised up in a cast and bits of bandage all over him. Doesn't have any IV tubes or anything going at the moment, but clearly looking pretty battered and pretty pale. There is a nurse in there kind of taking notes of measurements and that kind of thing. She doesn't seem to be paying any particular attention to you, but she is there.
Oh God, James, you gave us such a fright. I mean, I never would have believed in that, what was it, Yeti or Bigfoot? Okay, so next time you don't go wrestling with a Bigfoot, okay? Next time you just use your gun and you shoot the goddamn thing. How are you feeling?
I'm all right. Nurse, can we have a minute?
She kind of looks at the three of you and says, all right. And she steps outside.
I don't have a real clear memory of everything. But
Okay, well, for now, the only thing you need to remember is that you got in a tussle with Bigfoot.
yeah.
And we'll talk about the rest later.
No,
Won't we, Doc?
I need to talk about it now. I need to know. Did we take care of it? And is Sal okay?
Sal's fine. We've got Sal at another hospital. I'll be heading there right after that. And I just got there to get you out. I don't know what the F happened. I mean, Adrian, do you know?
Sal's fine.
Good.
And you blew yourself up.
But do we know if it worked?
I know you're alive.
We'll figure that out later. I don't know. There's nothing you can do about it at this time. We'll figure it out. But for now, I don't know. Whatever you did, you got banged up pretty bad by Bigfoot.
I'm not staying here the whole time. We need to get me out of here sooner than later. Whatever we need to
Yes,
tell
of
them.
course. But fair enough. But at the moment, you're staying here. You're no good to anybody. You're no good to anybody if you're falling about. So for now, you just stay put. And I'll go check on Sal later on, and then we'll figure out whatever it is. But I don't know what the.
And I think you see how tense I am. I've clenched both my fists, laying there on the bed. I also think I probably pass right back out again. I think I'm coming in and out, and not purposefully, but you just see me kind of doze off.
Yeah, your body's exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked at it
Doc
and I said,
Go ahead.
he's not going anywhere anytime soon. We're not moving him. I mean,
yeah. Adrian looks very tense, but seeing him just passing and out, just try to untense a bit. You need to let him get some rest.
You want to go check on Sal, and I'll stay here with James? I mean, you've been here the entire time.
That'd be a good idea. I don't think I'd be his best company right now.
Yeah, no, and I think Sal's going to be a lot harder to keep where he is. I hand her the keys to the car and a small duffel bag. I got some stuff for James in here. There's a little something in the bottom for him, you can say, little present for me. If he stays put, he needs to stay there at least one more night before he comes.
All right. And Alice?
Yeah?
I promise. I am holding myself together right now. But the second that he's okay enough, I promise I will be even worse company for James.
Oh, well, he's alive. He's got all his limbs attached. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
I'll go check on Sal.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Sal is certainly in better shape. I imagine when you come on him, they've got him in a recovery room with, a lot of bandages, big plaster around his torso, probably on some pretty good painkillers.
Hey, nurse, can I get some of that blue gelatin stuff? I like that. Not the orange.
You gotta try this stuff out, man.
But
morning, sunshine.
What was that? Sorry.
Morning, sunshine.
Morning, Doc. You okay? As well as could be, I mean.
Oh yeah. James is as conscious as he can be, going in and out, but as long as he gets rest and doesn't try to throw himself out the window, we should be fine. I'm not so sure he won't try, so Alice is still there.
They got those leather restraint thingies. You can, it's okay to have them restrained.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we've considered it. How are you feeling?
Well, felt better, felt worse. So we're good on that end.
And are you going to fight us on you staying here for another day?
Not if they've got blue gelatin.
Not the best reason, but we're going to keep it for now.
No, I will not fight you guys on staying here another day. Because
I thought you wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't like getting shot, but yeah. It's got to heal or I'll be no good to y'all.
Besides, it's probably going to look suspicious if you try running the second that you get treated. I think they'll start believing in a hunting accident pretty quickly.
I don't know. Frankie's a shitty shot. Leave him on the east side next time I go hunting.
I'm glad you're all right.
Thank you. I'm glad that we're all still here. There's going to be a lot to unpack after this.
Yeah.
So as
Hey,
soon as
I know
I'm
that-
done, go ahead.
I know that I'm a doctor. Yeah. How bad would it be if I just didn't have bedside manner once James feeling a bit better?
Well, you see, Doc, you're a doc, yes, but that doesn't mean you're not human. We all have fears, and angers, and things like that. It was bad down there. We were dealt a shitty hand, and we made the best of it. Definitely not what I would have preferred, but we definitely made mistakes. We could have done some things better. But if you need to vent, to have poor bedside manner, I'm right here. So feel free to yell and scream, and hell, I'll even let you poke me time or two. I don't care.
Oh, trust me, I have feelings about what I saw, but it's not venting. It's knowing that if I don't do jack shit, he's gonna go out and run and get himself killed again. I
Well,
think he needs a doctor with bad bedside manner.
you can lead a horse to water, Doc, but you can't make him drink.
I can damn well try.
Well, therein lies a path to madness.
Yeah, we're already well on that one.
Yeah, I have to admit that. Yeah, we're building a house on that street.
Hey, I may be acting insane, but I know I'm real preachy about it, but I need y'all to stay on path with your souls right now. There's so many people in there, Sal.
I know.
If me being a hard ass is the only way for him to maybe just maybe get out of this with some shred of himself left, then I'm happy for him to hate me.
Had we had just another minute without the captain coming in and starting opening up on us, maybe we could have done something different. But
Do you think he would have?
done something different if he had time? Oh, hell yes. James isn't a homicidal by any
No.
stretch of the means.
But he is
I mean,
desperate.
I've seen homicidal people before. He's desperate, yes. He's hurting, and that's the important part. He is hurting. But I don't think had we had an extra minute more, things would have been much more different.
I agree.
But woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's all water under the bridge now, Doc. And we'll just have to deal with it when we all can sit down as a group and unpack it.
You're right. You just keep getting some rest, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. You don't have to worry about me this time, Doc.
Yeah. Don't worry, I didn't think you were going to be the type to jump out the windows to get out of here.
No, the nurses here in California are they're worth staying for. Just saying. Don't tell Bianca that.
No. Oh, sorry. What was that? Oh, sorry. I was just making sure I wrote that down for Bianca.
Oh God! Now I'm in doghouse.
You didn't think I was going to let everything go, did you?
Isn't that like patient doctor confidentiality or something like that? Hey, help me out here.
The hypocrite oath.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not the one tending to you now. I'm just the friend. Come into the office for some therapy, then maybe there's some confidentiality.
Well,
All right.
just take care of yourself, Doc. Take care of Alice too. James is in good hands. Now we're going to make it through this, and then we'll meet, we'll talk, and we'll move on as best as we can. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to get some shut-eye.
You go on.
Have a better day, Doc. He says as he kind of leans back and shuts his eyes.
Mhm.
Doc will stay for a bit until you're all good. You're actually able to pass out.
It
Because I know
doesn't take
sometimes
long.
pain doesn't make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't take
It either
long.
makes it that you can't fall asleep or you fall asleep immediately. Just trying, like, oh well, there you go. All right.
Yeah, they've got him on some of the good stuff. So
Yeah.
All right. So to pull back for a moment and take a look at what's happening here mechanically, just to give you guys an idea of where we are. Sal is in pretty good shape. He's going to get 2 health points back a day, while he's in the hospital. So, and then, you guys can tidy up with first aid at once. So he could, he reasonably anytime after the next day or so can, ask to be discharged and he'll be fine. James is not in that situation. James, you were down to -6, I think.
I was.
Yeah. So basically you need to spend 6 days in a hospital or equivalent. Right. At the end of that time, your health pool is going to go back to half its max and then, recover from there. Yeah. So they are not willing to discharge you before that time passes. Is James pushing to get out early?
Not really. I think I give it some lip service that, I'm not going to stay here long, but like, I'm not good.
Yeah, that leg does not work at this time.
Yeah. And I'm in no position to impose my will. So
yeah, that's true.
It'll be a reluctant submission.
Yeah,
on my
I'm
part.
sure it's a very frustrating few days for James.
Yeah, without question.
When Alice gathered up everybody's stuff, and I think that, on the second trip back, and you're in a lucid moment, I've got a little baggie of some clothes and stuff, and I also said, you like those, what was it? I don't know, those kind of books, didn't you? So I think I found a couple, and I stopped by a bookstore. So you've got something to read. Keep your mind off Bigfoot.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Well, you very carefully pat your leg. You just take care. You gave us quite a scare.
I need you to watch, Doc.
That's yeah. Well, all of us. It'll be fine.
Don't do anything stupid. That's my job.
Don't worry. I've moved everything. We'll wait till we'll do anything stupid till you're back with us. Okay. No, you just concentrate on getting better. We'll stop by. I think Sal's gonna discharge himself perhaps tomorrow. Not much longer. We'll stop by. And then then you can finally tell me how you and Sal dealt with Bigfoot.
You're gonna have to ask Sal, because I only have like brief moments that I'm remembering. But I can tell that you guys are not telling me that we finished the job.
I don't know. We'll figure it out later. You read your books, and Sal or one of us will stop by tomorrow during visiting hours. It'll be fine.
Thank you.
Okay. And then Alice, as I think she's got the one car. I'd say this is day 2 or 3, perhaps.
Let's call it day 2.
That's so, and probably the day before we expect that Sal will check himself out.
Sure.
And where's Adrian? You back at the compound or walking around or something?
On day 2 would either be checking back on Sal, just having a meal with him, or at the compound getting refreshed.
Okay, so I think perhaps I dropped. Yeah, okay. And where we were staying is probably Pasadena's in the path.
Oh no, Alice.
Alice, might
Hey,
make
Alice.
a slight detour. I mean, this car hasn't exactly been spotted, and this one's whole, right, isn't it? Or was this the one that I half trashed with the?
No, it's the one that Doc had hiding across the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So this one's
The other car.
this is the other car, so not the one that I blew up. And she's just gonna do she's changed. She's wearing a hat, and she's gonna do a drive-by of Esicario's mansion.
Okay. And you can see, I mean, obviously the walls and fence are preventing you from seeing a lot of details. But it looks like you can see there's some people in there with some kind of construction equipment, and it looks like they're in the process of taking the building down.
Okay.
Ooh.
So apparently there was enough structural damage that they're going to tear it down and rebuild at least part of it.
Okay, and how does the the opposite neighbors look like where I drove the car in as a distraction?
You can see there's actually a homeowner out there talking to some gardeners and construction guys and kind of pointing to where all the damage is. And you can tell that the repair guy is writing down some quotes with dollar signs in his eyes.
Okay, perhaps I kind of pull up to the curb where they are and lean over and to the window down. And I say, "Oh my God, whatever happened here? I thought this, I was looking. This is such a, good. Whatever happened to you, Nate? Whatever happened here?"
Some crazy drunk woman come and rammed down my gate.
Geez, well, I look over to the other side of the road. It doesn't look as bad as your neighbor's place.
Oh yeah, I don't know what they got going on over there, but there was bombs and guns and what all. I don't know if they had some kind of drug party or something, but it was real bad.
Oh geez, are they
and
still
there were
open?
cops here all night.
Oh, okay. Did they? I mean, that sounds like, I don't know, some criminal enterprise. I thought this was a good,
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
That one's always been weird though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is he still? Did they arrest him?
I don't know. I ain't seen him, but
Jeez. Oh, well, property values and all that. It does still look quite nice around here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how long he's gonna stay around here after all this. We got an eye out on him now.
Yeah. Okay.
Had a
Well,
lot of those. He kind of leans in and says, "Had a lot of those Latinos coming in and out."
Well, that explains it. I mean, the whole neighborhood's just, they go down right after that. Oh,
Jesus.
so I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, yeah. Might want to move up state a bit, put some more distance.
We do what we got to do.
Alice's
Well-
disguise consists of a new hat and being racist. I am loving this little section of the game today.
Alice does what is needful.
Well, good luck. And she looks at the two gardeners who I would imagine have dark hair.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, it's like basically the guy he's talking
Yeah.
to, the sort
Yeah.
of foreman, is
Yeah.
white.
Okay.
But there are a couple guys, kind of back on the truck looking at things who, who are both more brown, shall we say.
Yes. Yes. Oh, well. Good luck with it. Good luck with it. And I don't know. Hopefully they'll the cops will take care of that. And it looks like they're tearing the place down. I don't know. Well, have a nice day.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. And then I drive home.
All right. So basically, we've got a couple days here that can take up as much or as little time as you want to. I get the impression that there is potentially some sort of conversation that's going to take place between Doc and James. So we can certainly run that at any point. And then, beyond that, if Alice or Sal or Doc wants to do anything in that free time, just let me know. But I guess what happens when when Doc goes to see James, maybe day 3 or so.
Out the window. No. I imagine that it's never like it will be probably whenever we're already in a group setting, as like we're all in James' room, and we'll ask the other two to step out for a bit.
Okay.
So it's the 4 of us.
I got a guy I need to throw out a window, y'all. Y'all need to step the fuck out.
All right. So do Alice and Sal step outside when asked?
Absolutely. Hey, I think it's a good time for a sandwich.
Yeah, and I think we should start looking around for another place to stay, a little closer than here.
Sounds good.
There's a
Sounds
nice
good.
deli. I saw a nice deli across the street, and I need to tell you something about. I was taking a scenic route, and then on the way here.
Okay.
Oh, Doc wants to say something at the scenic route part.
So yeah, we'll go across the street to the deli. They can do their thing, and
Yeah.
we'll bring lunch back.
Excellent.
Sal looks good.
Yeah.
He kind of explained to me what happened. And there's part of me that's really angry that you came in. But the reality is I wouldn't be laying here right now if you didn't. So thank you.
Why'd you do that?
I don't think we have any idea what we're dealing with. I do think that we might be the only chance of stopping this. And the idea of this going unchecked means not just losing each other. I think it's losing everything.
We're going unchecked, James.
What are we supposed to do? We can't walk away. I can't walk away.
Would you rather I did?
No. think I need you to help keep me anchored.
Doesn't seem like I'm doing a great job of that.
Well, you don't see what I'd be like if you weren't around.
I have.
There's a lot of people in there.
Not that, James. We all saw ourselves at our worst. Back in the ruins. You saw what I did, I saw what you did. Before we met each other.
Yeah.
Do you want that? See what
Do I-
this world's built on?
It feels like a tomorrow problem, Doc.
Everything's a tomorrow problem.
I think right now, I want to make sure whatever was down there is gone. And then I don't want to just keep shooting moles as they pop out of holes. I want to find the den. I want to figure out how this is all connected, and I think you're the only one that can do that.
So I gotta lead you further down to hell.
It's all right. I've been there before.
I don't much fancy bringing people there.
We'll watch out for each other. We got this.
I don't like where you're headed, James.
I don't either, kid. But let's get to the other side of this, all right? All of us.
All of us.
Yeah. I'm not where you think I am. I know what you're thinking. That's not where I am. And I know what that looks like too.
How am I supposed to keep you from it then?
You can't. Adrian, you can't.
I can try.
What we're doing is more important.
Don't fucking say that, man.
You know I'm right.
No, I don't, James.
Well, I am. I need to get some sleep.
Yeah.
And
I don't think you like what else I have to say, so.
I know. Keep an eye on Alice.
Keep an eye on all of you. Don't worry.
All right.
James,
Yeah.
I'm not going on lookout anymore.
We can talk about it. I understand.
We'll go get the others.
Okay.
It better be a pastrami, or James is going to be pissed.
You aren't getting a fucking pastrami, bitch.
No, pastrami is not on your recovery diet. You have some lovely egg salad.
I'm sure. Lots of
I got your back.
Mhm.
I'll smuggle one in.
Yeah, there
It'll be
you go.
okay.
I take it. You think you can smuggle? Adrian can fucking smuggle. He can smuggle it right back out your hands.
Hey, nurse, look, it's Bigfoot. Here you go.
The one that blows up stone.
I imagine that Alice, in these past couple of days, she did the scenic route, but what she's also done is she's kind of gone around and checked newspapers or local
Mhm.
newspapers
Mm.
and try kind of, bought them or went to the library to get, a recent one, nicked it. And, so she's just got the local newspapers and LA Times and anything and just gathered them. She hasn't gotten around to going through them, but I can imagine she's got them in a bag. And when they're at the deli at the opposite, she'll tell Sal and said, she'll tell him then, like, hey, I drove past. Looks like they were breaking the place down or something. Couldn't see. Could see some construction workers. Couldn't really see if they were still staying there. But I've gathered up the local newspapers of the past couple of days. Maybe we can figure out what's been. I mean, it had to have been in the newspapers.
Yeah. What you find in the newspapers is that there were reports of some kind of an underground gas explosion on the property that has caused serious structural damage, and the house is having to be torn down and rebuilt. Initial reports of gunfire, police say, have been attributed to beams giving way and popping. So there's no reports of any, shootings or orgies or anything else.
Does it say anything about the owner or?
It's just that the only thing it says is that he could not be reached for comment. So I think as another day or two pass and, James continues to be on the mend, you guys, did you say you were like finding another hotel?
Yeah, I think
to go to.
I proposed to move from the safe house, which is more to the south, to somewhere a bit closer, get a hotel.
Yeah, it's not difficult. There's a couple of hotels right near the hospital, actually. I think at one point, like in the early morning, one of those days, Sal, you're laying in bed in that sort of half awake state, and it's probably a dream, actually, because you feel like you've got Bianca there, kind of next to you, and she's whispering something in your ear that you can't quite make out. But she's, you can feel her sort of pressed up next to you, and she's warm and she's wet and she's feeling very strong, and you kind of flicker your eyes open, and you had the little feeling of her tongue sort of flicking against your ear as she whispered to you, and you realize that it's just the tip of this enormous tongue, which is running down the side of your body and swirling around your bed. And as you start to realize it, the whole thing starts to lift up and fold in on itself, and there's a crack, and you wake up. You haven't had a dream like this in a while, but this was a pretty bad one.
Yeah. This will take Sal a bit to process. He's gonna, out of the bed, grab the pistol, and just look at the bed, look under the bed, and just start checking the hotel room and things like that.
Yep. Everything looks fine. It's just a bad dream,
Okay. I'll note that. I probably should tell any tongue related dreams probably should be told to the others.
Probably not a bad idea.
You can keep out the more vivid details if you want.
Well, yeah, she was warm and
You can keep those to yourself, buddy.
She was wearing that little silk thing I got her.
Yeah.
she kept playing with my ear. And
Mhm. She has this thing she does, and
that's right.
yeah.
Sal, I'll get you another admission to the hospital, I swear to God.
Mhm. And I think the other thing that happens that's sort of unusual is probably the day after James and Adrian had that conversation. At one point, James, you wake up because you're still kind of napping fairly frequently as your body does its best to recover. There's an unfamiliar man in the room. Not a doctor wearing kind of a nice gray check suit. There's a fedora on the hat stand nearby, and as he sort of sees you come to consciousness, he says, Mr. Burton, is it?
Who's asking?
Oh, he says, and he kind of fishes out of his pocket and he shows a badge and he says, Trent Huggins, LAPD.
Okay.
Don't worry, you're not in any trouble. Just, we've had a few weird things happen recently, and I got an ear out for people who come in with unusual injuries.
Sure.
You mind telling me what happened to you?
Don't much remember a lot. I was out a little west of here in some woods with friends. We were hiking, I think. And we encountered something. Had to have been like a bear or something. And
Nurses say your friend said it was Bigfoot.
yeah, I don't think that's what it was. It had to have been. That doesn't make any sense, right?
Seen a lot of weird things in this town.
But from what my friends tell me, I tried to fight it off. And I think I don't know if I scared it or whatnot. Unlike me, I think it walked away.
Huh. No,
My friends brought me here.
it's good to have friends like that.
What are you worried about?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of weird things happening in this town lately. It just it bothers me. Like I don't know, a couple days ago there was this big mess out in a house in Pasadena. Nice, respectable place. Well-to-do people, and some kind of big, explosion, gunfight, crazy nonsense. I go in there to take a look, and there looks like there were all the people having some kind of party, he says, and he winks in such a way as to indicate that. And then it seems like somebody came in and things started blowing up, whatever it was. I don't know. It was just really strange. But I just remember going in there and looking around and wondering what the hell going on. And there was this big hole in the middle of the floor. It looked like maybe that's where some of the explosions were, but it looked like it had been there beforehand. And I just remember going over and looking down into that hole to see what that was all about. What do you think a guy might have seen in a hole like that? And I think even though James is in a very, he's not 100% in his sharpness, you can see this guy's hand is shaking a little bit as he asks you that question. And obviously, this is not just kind of a random question and a random story he's telling you. There's something very important to him about this.
I would like to know if I have any sense of whether he's fishing, right? Is he coming to me for help? Or because I think I've laid many a trap, right, in
Mhm.
conversations
For sure. For
for
sure.
interviews. So I think I could smell it a mile away. I would love to know if I have any sense of what's driving this.
I would say you could spend me a point of either assess honesty or cop talk
I like
to get a
cop
feel
talk.
for what he's up to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have seen guys like this. You have been guys like this
Right.
in the past in these conversations. And I think the impression you get is this guy has seen something that has shaken him.
Mm-hmm.
And he is trying to get some kind of confirmation. 'Cause, I mean, clearly the fact that he's here and talking to you about this means somehow he knows that you were involved in whatever happened there,
Right.
or at least suspects it. And he wants some kind of confirmation that what he thinks he saw either was or wasn't real.
Gotcha. I see his hand shaking. Of course, I would have no idea.
Yeah.
What could be down there, but I think only somebody who was there would know. And of course, I wasn't there, but I can tell you, I've heard stories,
Like what?
and that there's just things we don't know, things that we're not supposed to know, things that we see. But my advice is control what you can. Remind me it's not, is it Brooks that owns the house?
It's Echevarria that runs.
Echevarria.
No, sorry, no, Trammell
Trammell.
is the house. Sorry,
Trammell,
that
thank
was
you.
the old one. Yep.
You know, there's bad actors.
Welcome
So I
to
think
Hollywood, right?
For you to figure out what you saw there in that house, I'd probably start with the person who owned the damn place. Unless, of course, you're one of the people that's getting paid by him.
Not hardly. There are still a few good cops in LA.
Well, I think you're more rare than you realize.
Well,
I think he's. I hear that he's got his fingers in a lot of pots. But if you want to try to understand what you think you saw, I think I would start there. At least that's what I've heard.
I don't know if understanding is on the table. But it's like you said, there's things that shouldn't be there.
Well, get 2 feet solid down on the ground, and you've got a job to do. Focus on that. I think that's what I would do. But as you probably know, because you know who I am, I was on the force up in Chicago. So I tell him the hotel.
Okay.
And I just say, when I get out of here, I think I'm going to go here. And if you think I can be of help, you let me know.
I guess my question is there anything else you think I need to know?
I hear there's a pretty big drug problem tied to that Trammell guy. And I probably think your town would be a lot safer if that was solved. But you need to be very careful about who you talk to.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time shooting the shit. I won't bother you anymore, but just to let you know, I was over there talking to some of the construction guys, and we went back and forth about the owner's plans for the place. But one of the first things I had him do was pour about half a ton of concrete down that hole. So, that part at least should be stable.
That sounds to me like you did exactly what you should do. Right? So, I don't think you saw anything down there then. Just keep saying that to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not.
And he won't notice, but like, I am so visibly relieved.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And in the same way I was sizing him up, if he's sizing me up, I think he can understand that I was speaking earnestly when I said, A, be careful,
Mm-hmm.
and B, if you need something. And I think I also tried to make it clear to him that I don't know anything, but I do.
Right.
Right. So
yeah, no, the subtext I think was pretty
Good.
clear.
Yep.
So he says, well, appreciate your time. Get well soon. He puts on his hat and heads out. Let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break.
Love it. Be right back.
So I don't have anything scheduled to happen over the next few days for you. So I imagine at some point James may talk to the rest of the group about his visitor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I relay that my instincts are that he's not looking to try to pin anything on us. But I think he saw what was in that hole, and he said he buried it in concrete. And I think the one thing I want to know from you, Doc, is, as I relay that, he buried it under a half ton of concrete. I think I ask you, do you think that would end it? Burying it like that?
They can get fed. And from what we've seen, it can just be destroyed physically. That would suffocate it, probably. Could you repeat the name real quick?
Huggins. LAPD.
Trent Huggins?
Yeah. Why do you know it?
Wait a second. He just goes back through his mind. The police report. The Echevarria police report.
Okay.
He was the one who went to the scene. His is the name on that police report. He knows what, he doesn't know what's going on, but he's seen this before.
Jesus.
Do you have his number?
Yeah, he left his card, and I'm kind of look around, pull it out of my pocket. At this point,
He didn't actually leave his card.
he did not. No. He told me he was LAPD though.
Mhm.
Does he know where to find us?
I told him that we were staying here. So yeah, he knows where we are.
This might be the first good news that somebody knows where we are.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have told him that if I wasn't positive that he wasn't on the take.
Yeah. So, and then looking at you a bit more reassuringly, if he's seen this before, I promise you, he would have done something that he's pretty damn sure would have killed it.
So now what are we going to do if we're checking that box?
Wait to see if he shows up. I think we need to talk to him.
I think we need to get moving. I think we've stayed here long enough. I think this Trent Huggins or whatever his name is, he's finished it off. We can leave an envelope here with information, what we've got on Trammell. Leave an envelope for him. Everything we've gathered about the drug trade or whatever, and I think we should head out of here.
I agree.
Leave it up to him.
Sal?
Why I do think it would be good to talk with him more. I do think that we've overstayed our welcome, and that the longer that we're here, the more chance is that somebody, be that Trammell or someone else, will come looking for us.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Doc?
Yeah, you're probably right, but I think we should still try to leave a note for him or something that we are going.
Yeah. No, we leave an envelope for him. We leave an envelope with him with all we know on Trammell. And then it's his turn. He can finish this off. We can't do everything. we've done our bit here, but I think then it's not more, where do we head to next? Adrian, I think we still have the Malta connection. Do we know enough about that, or do we go to Africa where Echevarria was? I think we leave an envelope for Higgins, and I think we catch a boat to the other side.
Yep. You point. We'll go. So what do we decide? I can't
Everybody
hear you, Chris.
looks at Adrian.
Yeah.
I think we need to leave town. We don't necessarily need to leave the U.S. right now. Maybe take a week or two, gather what intelligence we have, review it. Maybe set up one of those pinboard thingies that y'all are fond of.
Let's catch a train or something. Let's catch a train, head east. I'm not sure if we want to stop by Chicago. Let's catch a train.
I would like to stop by Chicago. I'd like to see Bianca, but I don't know. This is getting a bit too. I don't want her affected by this, and they seem to have
my
no
thought as well.
compunction about going after others. So
yeah, let's catch a train to New York or something. I think if it's gonna take a while to get there anyway, and I'm pretty sure whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna need to catch a steamboat or something to either to Europe, or through Europe to Africa.
Yep.
There's an issue.
Yeah.
How likely do we think it is that Trammell will find out Bianca has the book?
Oh no, that's not going to be likely at all.
I'd probably not say it as directly, but whatever he's implying is, hey, maybe we should move it, or?
Well, no, because I'm going to send. Well, I mean, I told Trammell that I have the book. So, and we're not just going to leave an envelope here from Mr. Higgins. We're going to send Trammell a short letter.
I can't wait to hear about this.
And what is it going to say?
Sal, are you comfortable with that? We can take the detour and get the book, move the book somewhere else.
yeah, I'm absolutely fine with getting that damned book out of. I say we pour it in a block of concrete and sink it in the fucking ocean. But
That sounds good.
Just me.
I think we leave it where it is, or if we're going to do anything with it, that we ask Bianca to do that and just drop it in the Lake Michigan or something. I think we need to stay away from it, but Trammell doesn't need to know that. So any contact we have with her about the book or anything, it's just going to attract attention. We need his attention on us.
Mm-hmm.
And my boys are good with concrete, so we can put it inside a small safe, concrete it up, get rid of it.
Yeah, I'd say you give, and I think Doc, you're good with a pen and you can remember some stuff. What do you think you'd be able to? I don't know, from the top of your head, write down the contents of one of the pages or something. I'd like to include that in my letter to Trammell.
I could write down the information. I can't copy what it looked like.
No. I mean, I wouldn't even know how to make that thing as sticky and disgusting as it already was. But just off the top of your head, so that he thinks that we're copying it, so that he knows that we have it.
Oh, perfectly.
Yeah. And then I think if you get your boys and Bianca to just, I'd say, we've read it.
Don't
We've
get
got...
Bianca to do it.
No, but get your boys to go head over to Bianca, take care of it. And let's get on a train to New York, head east, and I'll send him a little note.
You know what I really like to do? I would like to find Trammell and fucking end him before we leave.
Yes, I understand, but the last time you guys tried to fuck up Trammell's house, you both got landed in a hospital. And you
I would like to point out that
yeah,
the-
no, that's
you know,
no.
they
You,
tore the
you
house
had your
down.
chance.
I
You
don't
had
know
your-
how
no,
much
no,
more
no,
fuck
no,
up,
no, no,
you
no,
know.
no. You had your chance, and you finished the job. You got to take care of the important part. We're going to leave this up to Trent. We'll give him
We can
all the
only chase.
instructions.
We
I
can
think
only
he's
chase so many
fine.
white whales.
Mm.
I think especially if he's the guy from way back when. We'll give him enough information. We'll stick him on Trent, and then we'll stick him on Trammell. And then we've got Trammell distracted by us, Trent going after Trammell, and we are headed to, well, I'd say, Adrian, how does Malta or Africa sound this time of year?
I'll need some more time to look over the notes. Let's just get to New York first.
Okay. Then I've got a letter to write.
All right. So I'm hearing there is a file of notes being left for Detective Huggins.
Mhm.
At the reception.
Yep. So that's all the stuff you know about, I'm guessing, like the nectar trade and that sort of thing.
Can we leave the key to the lockbox that we couldn't really get to because it was a foreclosed building?
No, you got the lockbox. That's where you found the ledgers with all
No,
this stuff.
no, not the lockbox. The we had a key, but we couldn't get to the actual like deposit box that it kept because it was a foreclosed building, I think.
I think we ultimately got
I
something.
think you
Oh.
got that. I don't think you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
any unaccounted for keys at this point.
Okay.
Does the stuff that you're leaving for the detective have any overtly supernatural references to it, or is it just here are regular human crimes that we think this guy's doing?
I think we would link it to, now that we know the link with Echevarria, I think we would specifically link like, hey, Trammell was linked, Trammell was one of the group of that, etc., etc.
Okay.
I don't think we'd give any further information, but we would clearly put the link.
Draw
Connect
that
those to
line.
house.
Yeah, we
Got
would
it.
draw
Okay.
that line, so it's like, okay, wait a minute, it's
Okay.
We do have letter in Trammell's handwriting to Savitry. Do we want to include that?
I don't think we'd want to distract him with the international angle.
Yeah.
But what we might do, because there's also letters to Spain, to Mexico, is that we might, look up some newspaper clippings or something along those lines, and about, leave a letter in there from Trammell to the guy in Mexico, and perhaps look up a newspaper clipping of what, hey, there was this big explosion or something along down there. Leave that in there and just put on, we took care of Mexico, you finished LA.
Okay. And what is the gist of the letter for Trammell?
I imagine that we're riding a train. We're on the train headed east, and you see this montage, and you can see Alice sitting in a coupe. The sun's shining, and she's got this white paper, and she's really taking her time to, in her finest handwriting, And she says, well, dear Tramel, you're so sorry you missed me in the park. I'm not sorry your house
Was
collapsed.
renovated.
You know, 2 times the charm. I've enclosed a copy we made of one of the pages in your quotation marks Bible. Just so you know, we still have it. Well, most of it anyway. It does burn quite nice. So, well, there was, what's the name? Sorry. Mexico City. I forget what his name is. Brooks. Brooks was the guy in Mexico, right?
Yes.
So, Brooks and Saventry have been taken care of. I wonder, or well, you'll have to wonder, who do we take care of next? It's been so helpful, your book. Have fun. Yours. Well, you didn't really think I'd sign it, did you? And then I'm,
Nice.
yeah.
Just post.
And then we'll put that in the mail, or put that in the mail at one of the stops.
Yeah. All right. And I also heard that we are having some of Sal's friends. Was the conclusion that we're going to put it in a block of concrete and dump it in Lake Michigan?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, if we're sure that us having that book is of no help, and if anything is a danger, then let's get rid of it.
I think Adrian's taken enough notes. She knows it by heart.
Yep. All right. You will get a telegram back by the time you arrive in New York that says that's been taken care of. You probably arrive in New York, let's say September 24th. And then the real question becomes, where to next?
So I know we talked Africa, but I think it makes more sense for us to go to the Mediterranean, go to Malta.
Yeah. So just to recap, because it has been a long time, Malta is definitely known as another headquarters of this nectar distributing cult. It's also a place where apparently the production of nectar shot up significantly earlier this year for reasons that you don't know, but it impressed the heck out of the other groups. The thing in Africa was an archaeological dig that was apparently sponsored by the cult in some fashion, but you don't know if it's directly related to any cult activity beyond that.
Okay.
So those are kind of your 2 main potential points of interest.
So sounds like Malta. Thoughts?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do
I
it.
look towards Adrian. Whatever you think is
Adrian is deep in focus.
Adrian honestly seems, what I think at the moment, he seems to be stalling. Because I don't think he wants to say where we should go next.
Interesting.
well, I mean, if we're going to head to Africa, we're going to have to go through Europe anyway. I've been to Egypt once.
He seems to just be nodding along with what y'all are saying.
So maybe we stop by Malta, see if we can always continue on. But Adrian, are you paying attention?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're the brains of this outfit. You're the one who, connects all the dots and that type of stuff. So, so anything you need, I mean, we'll be on the passenger line, and it's going to take a week or something like that to get over there. So should we not?
Doc is much smarter than me, so I'm very worried. Like, I think that he'd have a better idea of where we're meant to go than me. So.
Do we feel, Brian, that Doc would have some suggestions?
I think the stuff Doc has got is, like you say, there's a cult epicenter in Malta. There has been some kind of expedition or something going on in Ethiopia. There's also all the places that Savitri was exploring to try and find sort of the body or the maw of the mouth, but I don't think you have enough information on those to narrow those down yet. So I think with the information you have, and as Alice points out, the direction of travel, Malta seems like the obvious next step.
Adrian will hold any further theories he has to himself at the moment, and will agree with Malta.
Okay, good.
All right.
And if we see anybody else, any other Americans around there poking around, then we know Trammell got the message. We know who to drop.
Interesting. So you guys are able to get berths on the SS Exeter, which is a liner heading out of New York. It goes across, stops at Gibraltar and Marseille, and drops you off at Naples. And then from there, it's pretty easy to get a ship to Valletta. So just to put it in perspective for those who aren't familiar with it, in the Mediterranean, you have the boot of Italy. You have Sicily, the little triangle-shaped island or not little, the very large triangle-shaped island that the boot is pointing at. And then just south of Sicily is this comparatively tiny little speck in the Mediterranean called Malta. Valletta is the capital and the largest city and the only real city on the island. And I mean, you would know, I think Alice has some familiarity with it. It was a major center of nursing and convalescence during World War I for the Allies. They called it the nurse of the Mediterranean. It's a city that has been kind of very Italian in a lot of ways, but also has a very strong culture of its own. It's currently a British crown territory. There's been various attempts to give it some degree of independence, and then it's currently gone back under full British control. English was just recently made one of its official languages. A lot of people there speak Italian, and then the Maltese language itself is also very commonly used. It's politically, or rather militarily, rather important because it's a central base in the Mediterranean. The British Navy had a lot of forces there, although they just recently relocated most of their stuff to Alexandria and Egypt. And it's just starting to develop a sense of tourism. Valletta is a very pretty city. The whole island is made of this sort of golden yellow limestone, and all of the buildings on it are made out of that same stone. So it has this kind of very interesting, almost uniformity of all the buildings. And especially around, sunrise and sunset, the whole place kind of seems to glow a little bit as you sail in. There's basically a big peninsula with a fort on the end and a fort over here and a fort over here. And you are able to sail into the harbor without any particular difficulty, arriving on Sunday, October the 6th. Excuse me. What do you want to do?
I was actually wondering, and it's okay if we do this at a different time, but Adrian's been wanting to talk to Alice, actually.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I wonder if that's okay to be done before we get to
Sure. You have plenty of travel time to have any conversations you need.
just pulls Alice aside if they're okay with that.
Yeah, sure. Either the boat to I'd assume we go through England, then overland, and then another boat.
It's actually it went to
Oh,
Gibraltar and then to Italy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think sometime around there, as we are not close to England, but about as close as we're gonna get. Just as did you tell us that your late husband was British?
Yeah, you guys know that.
Did you get to go visit him back when we went to England?
Who?
Oh, not. I guess your husband.
Oh,
I don't imagine
Yeah.
he was buried in the United States unless.
no.
Says-
He's in the. They put him in the family too.
He said it was pretty rich. I don't imagine they'd want him buried anywhere else.
Well, I don't know. It's, the second son of an earl. It's yeah, he's in the family too.
Did you get to go see him? Did you get to go see him?
Yeah, I stopped by briefly, but it's. I mean,
There's something I've been wanting to talk with you about, Alice.
yes, of course.
We never really got to talk about what happened in the Yucatan. What you said.
Well, I don't think there's really much to talk about. It's in the past. I think we need to focus on what's in front of us and deal with that.
And what do you see in front of you, Alice?
I see the next monster or druggie or whatever that thing is, or tongue or something. That's we just need to, one to the other, knock them down, blow them up.
And just to be clear, Doc has no inkling of what happened at the tomb. He's just aware that we never got to talk about what she said. So this isn't him like on to you or anything.
No.
It's just, hey, we kind of never talked about this.
Yeah, no, so it's no. I think we just, we're on this this path. We've taken
You still want
two and a
that
half down. I think next follow this through.
You
Finish it
still
up.
want it. Do you still want that?
Still want what?
What you said in the Yucatan. Alice.
I don't know. It's let's just focus on now.
Alice. Spend
Adrian?
enough time looking after the boys. I don't know what's going on, but I can tell there's something you're not saying.
You don't need to worry about me. I'd be more worried about you. You seem a bit.
Oh, you're good at deflecting, aren't you, Miss Ross-Cabell?
What do you mean? You've been a bit. I don't know.
I know I haven't gone to check in with you as much as the others. That worries me the most.
I've seen a whole lot worse. I've been through some pretty horrible stuff. And I've survived, and I'm still here. And I think that's what you learn, is that you keep on going until you can't. And at the moment I can, and James can, and Sal can, and I think you can too. So don't worry about me. I'm good. You just concentrate on, keep pointing us in the right direction. Keep the boys in one piece.
Upright.
Mentally.
Vertical, above ground, breathing.
So, and we'll, we didn't ask for it. We just ended up, but this is what we do now. This is, I don't know, what were you doing before she called us? We've got a purpose now. We're doing good. I think that's one of the
Is this what doing good looks like?
Well, at least I know now. You weren't in the trenches in 16 and 17. Those boys, whether they spoke German or French or English, they were all just the same. It's just this thing is wrong. We're on the good side now. So let's just concentrate on that. We're doing the world a service. We're doing good. And you, Adrian, you can figure it out. You can help us find whatever it is. And then James and Sal and the four of us will take care of it. One step at a time. That's it. Focus on the now, one step at a time. What's in the past, just don't let it drag you down. I kind of pat Adrian on the shoulder, and then I'm going to head in for a drink. You want one?
No. See, I am real tired of all of you saying you're okay. I don't like being pushed off like this.
Well, what do you want me to say? I'm okay. And that's all I have to say at the moment. So I'm going inside. I'm going to have a drink with Sal and James.
Did you get the same offer in the Yucatan?
Oh.
What do you think I said?
It doesn't matter. And Alice is going to turn around and walk.
Fucking Doc carpet bombing the game. I thought you were just trauma fishing. Damn.
No, whenever someone says, I'm going to get my husband back after meeting Golgoroth, I think it's a bit concerned. Like,
It's
hey,
fine.
this is not just like, hey, are you doing... He's genuinely concerned about that, but also like, how we feel about necromancy at the moment. Are we still on that path? We haven't really talked about that for a few months. And by the answers Alice gave, it's still on the table.
Well, elder gods have a funny way of
I imagine that
doing things.
Alice and Adrian are not seen chatting it up too much on the rest of the journey.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could
As
see there
much as
being a
that,
bit
Adrian
of
may try.
A little bit frosty, perhaps.
yeah.
Adrian's trying.
Yeah. One thing I did want to make sure I remember to do before we move on to our next segment is you guys have basically finished a chapter of the completion of things in LA. So everybody can restore all of your points except for stability, but you can restore 3 stability.
Okay.
And sanity stays
Sanity
where-
does not recover. Also, you can all add a point to a skill of your choice. And if you want, you can also move a point from one skill to another. You don't have to do that right this second, but just, get it wrapped up before next time.
Where would my health be at this point after the boat ride and everything?
Yeah, once you're back at full health now.
Okay,
You've had enough time to recover. I think it's going to be the kind of thing where you probably walk with a slight limp for the rest of your life, but it's not enough to mechanically impact
We'll
anything.
get you a cool cane. We'll get you a really cool looking cane. Use my umbrella. I'll give you my umbrella. You get the umbrella now. Can I also use one of my pillars of stability while we're on the travel?
My assumption is that you guys are all kind of interacting with those, which is where the 3 stability recovery comes from.
Gotcha.
You can of course still use psychoanalysis if you want to provide further assistance to others.
Yes, if anybody is willing to talk to Doc at the moment.
No, I'm good.
This is why you don't get Doc's theories. This is why we're getting stuck in Malta.
This is the best part. You have a psychoanalyst and nobody wants to talk to her.
Right.
Excuse me. All right. So you guys are able to get yourself established in Malta. There's a nice hotel downtown. Looks like it's actually mostly or it's popular with like British expatriates, of whom there are a fair number here, called the Kingsway Inn. So, you've got a nice spot there. And what do you have in mind as far as investigations? This might be a good time to go back to, let's see, you've got the Testament is probably the best thing. And the notes you have in on Valletta there are probably the most immediately relevant.
Well, I think there's a drug problem here as well. That's what we know.
Seems to be a lot of those.
So,
I don't know how Doc would investigate this, but he's curious if there's any connection between the sudden amount of sacrifices available and the uptick in tourism in Valletta.
Oh, that's interesting.
If there's been a lot of missing people reports, or less than there should be, rather.
I think that's the kind of thing that someone would have to talk to the local police about.
and perhaps check the newspapers. I would imagine let me just check what my languages are. Yeah, well, hey, Spanish, French, and Italian.
Yep. English is also very common here, so you're in good shape.
So, but
I think
I could imagine
go
that.
with checking the archives of the newspapers, like Alice suggests.
Okay. Looking for just information on missing persons or anything like that?
Missing person and any, because it would these newspapers have the section where you can buy out your own little small
Classified ads? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was a thing like it would have been. I don't know if it's a very American thing to have the classified ads like you in the same newspaper.
No, I think it's fairly common.
Yeah, so he's going to be looking like, hey, is there any weird ads that people have taken out in the past few years, the past few months? Like, hey, you want to try out this great new drink I made?
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd say also looking on, missing people, drugs, just the crime pages, and I think,
anything linking tourism to a sudden uptick in crime or odd things happening.
All right, fair enough.
And mentions of mouths, of course.
Oh, well, sure. All right, so it sounds like Doc and Alice are going to be spending some time in the library and the newspaper morgue. What are our gentlemen doing?
Yeah, I don't know about you, Sal, but like this isn't the part I'm good at. I don't think I talk to the local authorities unless we see something in the papers. Like if, depending on what Allison and Adrian dig up, I might end up, connecting with local authorities, but I don't think I'm going to do that preemptively. So if anything, I just might accompany one or both of them.
Fair enough.
I think we have the name Montgomery Donovan.
Donovan, yep. Mm-hmm.
Donovan. And would Sal, through his Chicago connections, I mean, we're near Italy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. One, to try to establish, okay, what is the mafia influence here, and then two, just get a feel for the the nightlife here, things that go on outside the shiny tourist areas.
Right, exactly.
What are the locals up to? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So to sort of recap, those in the order, as far as looking through the library and the old newspaper notes, there are occasional missing persons notices, but it doesn't look like there's any sort of unusual spike or more than you would expect. None of them seem particularly suspicious or weird to you as far as what you're seeing.
Anything happened on March 18th?
No, you don't find any particular notes there. Let's see. There are, of course, references to drug problems because it's an inevitable problem of modern cities. But again, nothing that suggests to you it's the kind of thing that you've been seeing elsewhere. It's mostly kind of the traditional drugs that you see. In this area, you get a lot of heroin and hashish and stuff coming from the Mideast. But nothing, again, that jumps out at you seeming particularly unusual. As far as the mafia connections, I mean, you're very near Sicily.
Mm-hmm.
So there is definitely a mafia presence here. I think the impression you get, Sal, just from asking around, because again, the American mafia and the Sicilian mafia are, I mean, they're from a common ancestor, but they're
separate organizations,
particularly tied together. Yeah. So I think you kind of get the impression that this is not a very active area for them. You might, tell you what, you could spend me a point of streetwise if you were so inclined.
I will absolutely do that.
All righty. Yeah, it's like there's the impression you get is like this is sometimes where mafiosi from Sicily and Italy will come here to lay low for a while. So this is kind of where they go. So they're not, I mean, obviously there are some people here who have their fingers in different casinos and brothels and that sort of thing, but this is kind of a low profile area for them. This is sort of a way to stay off the radar for a little while. As far as nightlife and stuff goes, a lot of that revolves around the military. There's a lot of Navy and RAF guys here who are obviously spending a lot of their time after work in the various, dockside bars and brothels and such. But honestly, for the most part, it seems like a pretty well-policed city. It's not like they're, cracking down on martial law or anything, but it looks like, there is a reasonable level of crime in certain areas that is kept under control, and the rest of the city is more or less in good shape, is kind of the overall view of the place that you get. You get the feeling there are a fair number of very wealthy people here. So your suspicion is there's probably a lot of white collar crime going on. But as far as the sort of thing that would be reported to the police and dealt with that way, it seems like it's mostly kind of self-contained, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay. I want to just kind of make sure that Sal understands, okay, which part of the city is the part of the city that you go to disappear. Which part of the city is you're more likely to find street thugs and things like that.
Mhm.
Just try to get an idea of the different areas of the city and how they are lawfully, I guess.
Yeah, I think with that expenditure and a little time spent, wandering the streets, you have a pretty good feel of the lay of the land. So you can
Okay.
probably find whatever type of area you want with relatively short notice.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Yep. All right. What's step 2?
Well, what did we discover, and did we find anything in our research or no?
Nothing. It doesn't seem like people are disappearing. Doesn't seem like there's a particular drug scourge going on.
We have one named Davin Montgomery. Would it be possible to, I don't know, there's not that many telephones, but telephone book or records, property records, would they be accessible?
Probably video records would be your best bet for something like that. This is not a I honestly don't know that they have telephones to the island yet, just because they're not really connected to the rest of Europe. So, internally they don't really need it so much. But yeah, you can certainly go to the city records office and see what you can find. If somebody wanted to spend me a point of library use.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So I think, you find a couple things registered in the name of one Montgomery Donovan. There is a town view or a townhouse on the harbor on the west side of town. There is a yacht registered in his name in the harbor. And he also owns at least one warehouse that you find, over in the docks area. The impression you get from looking at this, I mean, along with this, there's also certainly, newspaper records and that kind of thing. But he appears to keep a very low profile in a social sense. So you get the impression that he is a fairly wealthy guy who tries to sort of leave as small a footprint as possible. I would say in the newspaper archives, because you're probably looking at both of those, you do find one photo and article in the the social pages. That is actually the only photo of him you can find. So that should be visible now.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. He's a bit of a BFD.
Yeah, although it's odd that this is like the only record of him in any of the public paper.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Would I know anything about anyone by this name or his family name coming from Old Money?
I mean, it's a relatively common English name. It definitely does sound English rather than, natively Italian or Maltese. But I think you're probably unlikely to know anything particular about him or his family.
So it's not a big name in the
No, it's not
in the
like
East
a
Coast.
Rockefeller or
I do think this is our best lead, but this is not Thailand, and it's a lot smaller than LA and a lot better organized than Mexico City. So we have to be, I'd like to say more careful, but careful this time.
Are there any notable valleys in the area?
I mean, the whole place is pretty rocky. So there are, in town, it mostly just takes the form of the streets being pretty steep one way or another. Out on the island, there are certainly some more, I don't know if I'd call anything a valley, but there are certainly some fairly hilly, rocky areas.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me, do we think this Donovan is in charge of this?
Oh yeah.
That seems to be the impression from
Yeah.
the documents you have.
Okay.
Watch
Well,
him for a while. Try and make
Yeah, I
contact.
think so. I don't know if we make contact directly,
No, not
but
yet.
let's
Not yet, but...
kind of figure out, like, where does he live? Where does he go?
Well, he lives
Yeah, you have the
His
address.
place.
Right.
and he's
No,
got
I
a
understand
boat
that, but
there.
does he spend time on the yacht? A lot of time on the yacht. There's probably not a mouth on the yacht. That would be creative. But it would be good for us to know his comings and goings and who he's associating with, and just basic cop work.
See if we can get a place or an apartment somewhere nearby his place so we can watch it.
Yeah.
Brian.
Hmm?
Sorry, just curious. Based on the time that it would have come out, and just if the fact that it came out in Berlin, would it have actually been possible that Adrian went to see this production in one of its earlier performances?
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I'm happy to stipulate that you've seen it.
Mm-hmm. I've seen the play before. I don't know if it has any specific thematic connections, but if it's the one time he's been seen out, I imagine that might be for a purpose.
Yeah, that is odd, but I have no theories why.
Oh, with all this talk about sacrifice, it certainly seems like the play has some connections to that motif.
Let's see just how public he is. Right? Does he travel by himself ever? Does he go to the store? Does he have somebody do that for him?
Along the lines of what Alice brought up before, and even in Mexico City and Bangkok and Los Angeles, we have the geographic area to become scarce. We need to look at an exit plan early.
Yeah. There's no hopping on a train here.
Exactly.
That's a good point. I feel like that's something Sal would be in charge of.
Yep. I'll take point on that.
Okay. So, as far as getting out of Valletta in a hurry, your options are actually fairly limited. There's no kind of public airfields on here. There's like a couple of RAF airstrips, but that's not something you'd have access to unless Alice has more connections than she's told us about. There are, there's always boats going in and out, although they're mostly just daily fishing boats. You could certainly probably try and grab a boat somewhere, or you could head inland into the hills outside the city. Are pretty much your main options.
Yeah. What do you think you can get us? What do you think you can line up, Sal?
I would like to get us. I think if I can try. How far are we from? Look like maybe we're 50, 60 kilometers from Sicily. The northern edge.
That sounds about right.
We could disappear in Sicily a lot easier. Or Tunisia is kind of far away. It's like 3 or 4 times the distance.
Yeah, Sicily is certainly your closest option.
Yeah. We'll look at trying to get a boat to Sicily. Looking for one that has the range necessary, I don't know if we need to rent one or even if that's possible.
I mean, you could certainly rent one if you're like, we're going to need it for this day.
Yes.
But if it's the kind of thing where it's like, we need to have this
Retainer.
available. Yeah, exactly.
I will just maintain a list of, boats that are possible to be contracted on such short notice. Their locations as far as what marina they're in and things like that. I also want to check out the medical facilities here.
Okay. Makes sense. So yeah, I think with that earlier streetwise spend, you've got a pretty good idea of some guys who might be available on short notice if you drop some cash on them.
Okay.
So you've got a couple options there. As far as medical facilities, there are certainly any number of sort of private doctors' offices and that kind of thing. There's basically one main hospital in town, which is up kind of on the north side of town, and it's big. It's an old building, but it's been fairly modernized inside, so it's in good shape there. And then obviously the military bases have their own facilities.
And this was a British colony at this time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you hear, as you're working in the streets, you hear a lot of English, you hear a lot of Italian, and then there are a lot of people speaking something that sounds kind of like Arabic mixed with Italian, which you think is Maltese.
Yep.
Most of the signs are in Maltese and English.
So let's put a tail on this guy.
All right.
I think I might be the one that would coordinate that.
All right. So basically, like I said, he's got this like 4-story townhouse on a corner near the harbor. So there's certainly, like a cafe across the street where you could post up and
I think that's
keep
what I'll
an
do.
eye on things. All right. And while it's not particularly dramatic, I think that might be a good place for us to stop for this session.
With me sipping a
And we'll pick
cappuccino.
up with all the... Yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful day in Valletta. Nothing could go wrong here.
Awesome. All right, guys, we're going to go to credits to talk about the game on the other side.
In a mansion grand where secrets lie, Walter Winston lived, but he had to die. His daughter Janet, fierce and bold, hired a team to find the stories untold. Oh, Walter Winston, Mr. Mystery Man, caught in a web of a sinister plan, with cults and crimes and shadows so dark. His story ignites like a match to a spark. Ex-cop, doc, gangster, nurse in the mix, unraveling truths in a dance of tricks. Swinging through secrets, meet the moon's gleam. They chase the spurs of a deadly dream.
Alrighty. All right. Well, one of those quieter sessions, but I still think we had a lot of interesting things going on. Let us talk about some stars and wishes, and I think I will start with Naomi today.
Well, I like these episodes in between.
too.
That's always good, and you really managed to paint a very beautiful picture of Malta. So I'm very much looking forward to what we find.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to Malta? I'm curious. You've been.
I
everywhere
haven't been to
else.
Malta.
Ah,
No.
okay.
It's have you been?
I have not.
Okay.
But one of my a GM in another game I was in had been there and gave us a lot of photos because we visited a similar
nice.
city in a different setting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So as far as wishes, I'm looking forward to finding out what we can find out in Malta, and I'm going to be curious if Trammell sent somebody after us, because it wasn't that subtle in my letter. So
This is true.
And then I think stars. I like all these interactions. I think my favorite one was with Sal and the Doc and the blue jello. So,
It's the little things.
and I think, talking about restraints for James, I was thinking, well, at least we didn't need them for Sal.
Very true.
Yeah, that was good.
All right. Mac, how about you? Thoughts, stars, wishes, etc.
Well, Doc always wanted to visit Malta while they were in school, but they were quite the busy bee, so it's nice to finally be around these parts. If only it was under better circumstances.
This is true.
Oh, Doc is not doing great, but they are, by God, making it. And if
Doc is seeming a little tense.
And if it isn't mostly by spite, well, that would be a lie. It's mostly by spite.
Sometimes spite is what we need to keep us alive.
Spice of life. I think my story was the scene between Trent and James. Just these two police individuals who have seen things that they were not. They were meant to be mundane police officers, and this is not something they were prepared for. And thus the almost generational transaction between them of someone who had said the original one in 1924, and then James currently still letting Trent kind of put it to rest a bit, without us ever even interacting with him. I think was a really great way to show a comparison between James before and after, and everything going on with his story.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Any particular wishes?
I don't know. Doc's trying real hard to figure out what to do to help everybody at the moment, and it's a bit difficult when he can't even tell, because at the moment he's not sure if James was to throw him out a window or kill the next person that looks at him funny. So I think Doc's just trying to figure out where he stands with people at the moment.
That's
I
fair.
think that's his wish.
That is entirely fair. Chris, how about you? Thoughts, stars, wishes?
I know that when we have these really introspective, sort of character focused episodes, that again this group's ability to develop their characters is just awesome, just beyond words. There was a sense from the get-go of this kind of heaviness, that there was something coming. There was a storm coming. And I think for my part, Mac, the way that you did Adrian through all this, definitely my star here. Just because it was like, that was the center of at least the heaviness and whatnot. And just being able to portray that, kudos to you. As far as wishes, I don't like leaving things undone, and I really think I don't like the fact that Trammell's still alive. That may come back to haunt us. I would like to see that taken care of.
Yeah.
Fair.
And then there's a lot. We've got this appearance of this nice, sunny, always nice weather. Just this sort of modern small city. I want to see what the dark veneer is beneath of it. There is something there. So, yeah.
This is how you know it's serious, because Sal didn't immediately jump to either getting a culturally questionable outfit for a white man to be wearing or immediately engage in the local sports. This is how you know it's serious, man. He didn't even get a cricket bat.
Even Sal's changed.
Sal's going through it, man.
He does have to look for a bathing suit.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
he's still here. He's
Yes.
still here.
He's still here. He's just
Yeah.
kind of taking a step back. But yeah,
You need to
that-
take it
those
this
are my
slower
thoughts.
this time. Yeah.
Sal is still the beating heart of this party.
So
And they didn't have
absolutely,
Speedos yet, so just know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We can make
Sal
our
would
own.
rock a speedo. Just say.
Okay. Craig, take us home. Tell me about things and stuff.
Yeah. I think from a star perspective, I echo what's already been said. I feel like we are seeing, I think we have a better sense of where these four are now. I think we're starting to see the trauma be more and more in the front. Like Alice isn't effing around anymore. Like she wants everybody to get to the find out phase of this, which I think is neat. The bringing up of the question in the Yucatan, holy crap. I thought dropping that was huge. I really liked Alice's reaction. Like a lot. I believed it. For wishes, I think not James, is ready. Well, maybe even James too, ready to start peeling back another layer, right? I'm hoping this isn't just another whack-a-mole here in Malta. I'm hoping that we start to really figure out what is the next layer to this onion.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where I am.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed this episode. One of the things I love about playing with a really good table of role players like this one is that we can see that, even though everybody is still committed to doing the thing, we can see the cracks forming without anybody having to say it out loud. It's just coming through the behavior. And I really appreciate that as a GM. I'm looking forward to getting back into the sort of investigative actiony side of things. And, to peel back the curtain just a tiny bit, this is kind of, you've had kind of the four main cult locations that you knew about since the early days. And this is more or less the last of those. So we're probably getting ready to turn a corner into what will be maybe the final act, depending on how things develop. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. What else we got coming up, Craig?
Next week we have got episode 3 of Die, which has been really fun. In a
Fun.
Yeah, it's another great table. Kevin is doing an incredible job running the game. And if you think you think these four characters have some trauma, go watch Die. And then a rarity, we've got back-to-back weeks of Forbidden Lands. So episode 50 of Forbidden Lands will be this coming
Crazy
Thursday.
number.
I know it is, isn't it? But thank you, Brian. Thanks all.
Thank you.
We'll see you. We'll be back next month.
Bye.
Howdy friends, thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.